Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to be showing you my LEGO Empoleon MOC. Empoleon is the final evolution of the water starter Pokemon Piplup and was first introduced in the Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum games. This MOC consists of 306 pieces, and at the time of the recording of this video, if you were to buy all the parts needed for this MOC, it will cost around $55 to $65 Canadian. Please keep in mind this does not include shipping or handling, and the final cost may vary depending on when and where you source your parts from. I always recommend sourcing as many parts as you can from your own collection first, and then only buying the ones that you need, as this will drastically reduce your overall cost. If you're interested in building this yourself, I have links in the video description below to both the parts file, which you can use to source all the parts off of Bricklink, as well as PDF instructions which show you a step-by-step guide on how to build this MOC. Like with all my other MOCs, I designed this in Stud.io or Studio, while referencing the official artwork and any 3D models or toys that were available online, just to get a better look at the different angles, a sense of the body proportions, and any other details that were hard to see from the front. The design of this MOC went pretty smooth, since the main colors used are widely available in LEGO with many different parts, as it's mostly black and white with accents of blue and yellow. For anyone who might be wondering, I did consider using the pearl gold color instead of yellow for the accents. But the parts catalog for the pearl gold color was just much more limited, and I wasn't able to get the look or building techniques that I wanted with the parts available. While designing, I like to keep in mind the part availability and the cost, just to try and avoid using rare or expensive parts whenever I can. But in some cases I resort to using them just because I couldn't find any other way to get around it. I don't think this build uses any super rare parts, but maybe a handful of uncommon ones, but it shouldn't affect the overall cost too much. First, taking a look at the front of the body, I tried to mimic its distinct pattern or design by just using some white modified tiles, the notch pieces, and the 1x1 hollow studs, while having the blue frontal fin come straight down through the middle. I think in the official artwork, the frontal fin is supposed to be a bit thinner, but I chose to prioritize getting the overall shaping and curvature of it to be more accurate instead. This then continues up to the collar, and the collar is done just using some wedge plate and notch pieces in blue, attached to a couple of clip and bar plate pieces. The interior is made up of a bunch of snot bricks, so I'm able to build on all four sides. And I wanted to make sure that I got the shaping of the body right, so I used wedge plates on the front to have it taper up to the neck and to have it wider at the base. I also made sure that the curve slopes used for the sides follow the shaping, and they help to add to the overall smoothness and bulkiness as well. Coming around to the back, it's pretty plain compared to the front, but I made sure to capture the two small yellow bumps on the back of its shoulders, as well as the size and sharpness of the blue tail fin, which is just done using a different number of slope pieces. Looking at the legs, there isn't any knee articulation, but you are able to pose it at the hips and ankles. The hips are just done using some Nixle style ball joints, but since I tried to minimize the gapping, the range of motion is limited, but you can rotate it slightly forward and back and side to side. The ankles are done just using some clip and tap bar pieces, so you can rotate it and angle it side to side like this. The legs use a technique that I've used many times before, where the interior structure is just mostly brackets and plates, and having the studs on all four sides lets me to get this clean and smooth finished all around. And this also helps me to get the fur to stick out at the ankles, which are done just using the 1x1 cheese slope pieces to match the official design. I would say there was some trial and error with getting the feet, but I settled on this design just to try and capture its webbed foot look as best as I could. And during testing, this proved to be a strong enough connection so that you don't need to do a lot of work to get it balanced or stood upright properly. So the arms are the exact same build on both sides, and there are no other points of articulation other than at the shoulders, which are done using the pneumatic T-bar piece and the 1x2 double clip plate piece, both in black. You are able to lift the arms out and rotate it forward and back, but you just have to be careful since the weight of the arms are quite heavy, and it can loosen up that shoulder connection over time. But there is a lot of range of motion, and possibilities to pose it at the arms without the use of a ball joint piece. The arms are also quite wide, but I wanted to make sure that they all met at one nice point, basically at that triple slope piece in blue. And I used wedge plate pieces and the 1x2 notch pieces on both sides just to get that black and blue color blocking. And the fingers are just done using the bar pieces in yellow with the bar attachment at the end onto some hollow studs. Taking a closer look at the head, I think the first thing that many will notice is the build of the trident and beak design. While designing the head, it was tough getting the size and shape of the trident just right, and I did consider using the minifig trident element piece in Pro Gold early on, but it was just too hard getting the rest of the head to scale with that piece. And with the way I built the head, I would have needed that trident piece to wrap around on both sides. So I ended up brick building it in yellow instead, and all the prongs are attached using some clip-in bar pieces. The side prongs are a bit shorter and are just mirrored off of each other, and the center prong is the longest one with that tiled off slope piece at the end. The eyes are built just using some regular stack plates, and the shaping is done using the 1x2 notch piece in blue attached at an angle with the wedge plate piece in black, just to get that subtle angle and shaping for the bottom of the eye, and that attaches to the side prongs as well. And then the rest of the beak is just done using some slope and curved slope pieces. You are able to rotate the head left and right, and that's because it's attached onto a mixo style ball joint, but you can't really angle it up or down, just because I tried to cover off some of the gapping at the back of the neck, which is done using some black cheese slope pieces. But if you wanted to, you can remove those pieces and you can increase the range of motion of the head. And finally, here's how it looks scaled up to a regular minifigure. And this is how it looks scaled up to a custom trainer figure mock. This is Lucas, and I tried to base it off of his Pokemon Platinum design. So this is how it looks scaled up to the other two final starter evolutions of Gen 4. In hindsight, I probably should have designed Torterra last instead of first, so that's why it might look a bit smaller than it's supposed to be. But the justification I'm going to use is since Pokemon of the same species can come in different sizes, we could see this as being a smaller than average Torterra and maybe a larger than average Empoleon. So that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on this mock, what your favorite parts are, or if there are any changes you want to make. Also let me know what else you want to see me cover in these review videos, and what other of my previous mocks you want to see me cover first. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.